I miss the crowd. I miss playing in front of people, but I enjoyed my time off very much.
In terms of music, what did you do during the time off?
I wrote a lot. I'm in the middle of writing a memoir, and so I've been writing on that. I wrote enough songs to do an album, which I did during the lockdown, and I loved that experience when we happened to record it right here in this room.
That album is out just now. It is your first new album of original material in how long?
Ever. I've never done an album, I don't think, without, that didn't include other people's songs in it as well as my own.
Which is, to me, pretty remarkable.
Well,
50 years and, for a guy named Jonathan Edwards, you don't have much of a Puritan work ethic.
I've been called worse things, Rob, I'll tell you that.
Do you enjoy songwriting? Does it come easily to you, or is it a bit of a slog?
It's a little of each, and sometimes songs linger in my notebook for years before I find the impetus and the inspiration to finish them off.
What usually comes first, words or music?
Well, I don't sleep much, so in order to not wake up the neighborhood, I write quietly in my bed, and at all hours of the night, and then I attempt to turn those into musical moments.
Sunshine, go away today. I don't feel much like them.
Jonathan Edwards has managed to take some of those musical moments, those phrases jotted down on a notepad, and turn them into songs that have endured for decades.
How much does it cost? I'll buy it. The time is all we lost. I'll try it.
Let me go back a little bit. When was the first time you ever were paid money to perform music in front of an audience?
I believe it was a little bar in Athens, Ohio, where I was going to college, and my band and I were sounding pretty good, and I went to the manager and said, "Man, we're sounding really good. Can we play here Friday night?" And he went, "Oh, are you crazy? Agents bring bands in here. People don't walk in off the street with their guitar and go, 'Can we play here Friday night?'" And his name happened to be John Edwards. And I said, "Your name is John Edwards?" He says, "Yes." And I said, "Well, that's my name." And I had not gone to Jonathan yet, so I was John Edwards. And he said, "Oh, well, okay, then come in Friday night."
How much money did you get paid?
Oh, $20 maybe, and free beer a piece. There's 6 of us.
But you were on your way.
Yeah, for sure.
And after that, obviously the usual sort of peaks and valleys, but after that, that is really all you have done professionally, is work as a musician.
Yes. Yeah, I had, pizza jobs and janitor jobs and stuff like everybody else in the struggling years. But mostly I've been just making music and having some fun.
Gonna lay around the shanty wall, mama, and put a good buzz on.
Along the way, fortune smiled on him, and the music has never stopped.
A little before you let her go.
You've got a song on the album called 50 Years. You express real gratitude towards your fans, and it comes across as genuinely heartfelt.
Well, that's good, because it is. It certainly is. I look out there at the appreciative, receptive faces in the audience, and it's an emotional thing just to feel that power and that strength on stage, and it gives me more soul and more energy to give it back to them every night.
You also have a line in that song, "No one's had more fun than I."
Absolutely, especially in the last few years. It's been really, really gratifying to have passed that 50-year mark and gone, well, I'm still doing it, let's go.
You've got a show coming up at Jonathan's in Ogunquit on your birthday?
Yes, on my very birthday, July 28th.
And it will mark your return to live performing after a year and a half of nothing.
That's right.
What's that going to feel like, do you think, when you step out in front of that crowd on that stage?
Probably similar to the first night I played ever, in front of an audience in Boston. And I walked out on stage, and when I got to the edge of the stage, somebody yelled, "You suck!" And I hadn't played a note. So I walked to the microphone and I said, well, thank you very much for that introduction. It's usually the second song or third song that people say that, but I appreciate hearing that right off the bat. I'll be terrified to do that.
Really?
To hit the stage again. Yeah, absolutely.
You think you'll be nervous?
Yeah,
Is your voice going to kind of flutter and crack, you think, in the first song?
probably.
That'll be a little embarrassing. But
Yeah,
the crowd will love it.
The crowd will love it.
You've been on 207 several times. We've always enjoyed having you. Here's one change I've noticed, though, that I'd never seen from you before. You're wearing shoes. What is the deal?
It's a new era for me to wear shoes.
You're suddenly getting respectable and conventional?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of outgrew the barefootedness.
I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed.
I understand. I understand.
I'm not saying you suck, but I'm a little disappointed.
Well, you haven't seen my bare feet lately either. After a life of barefootedness, they take a beating.